Welcome to my favorite affinity space, Board Game Geek. Founded in 2000, this website has received accolades as an online resource. It has its own conventions since 2005, a general convention, a family-friendly convention, and even a sea cruise. It only employs 2 people, but it generates almost $200,000 a year in revenues, but it is mostly user-created content. Now, the primary passion here is a love of board games, and they have, at last count, over 99,000 entries for different tabletop games. Everything from card games to board games to miniatures games, anything a gamer can think of that's tabletop and board game related. The space itself welcomes newbies and masters and everyone in between. It is a hub that's best reflected in the forums where advice is asked for and given, and some very spirited discussions between those who wish to be masters of a certain game occur. There are multiple portals. The portals include Twitter, Facebook, the website itself. It has its own store. The forums are one of the major things that will come up in a Google search if you Google a certain game. You will always be sent to BGG. The portals are open to anyone. You can Google it and it will take you to Board Game Geek. The only difference is if you create a membership, you can get a newsletter, you can get resources, download resources, things like that. I highly recommend that. The forums themselves allow for discussions, videos, reviews, images. The website rates the games with the website doesn't rate it. The users rate them. And it's a scale of 1 to 10. And there's also a rating for every game for popularity that is listed on their site as well. Now, the content, it is created almost entirely by users. There are forum leaders that help organize those kinds of things, but mainly the content here is created by users. It's hierarchical, and you can click where you want to click and go where you want to go. There is no problem finding your way around and going back and forth on the website. There are all of the kinds of knowledge and knowledge use displayed here. There's intensive and extensive knowledge. You'll see that in the forums, as I said before. The individual and distributed knowledge are definitely encouraged. It is absolutely great to be an expert and to share your expertise. Not everyone will always agree with your expertise because much of this is about the strategy on how to win a game, but it is definitely encouraged. The dispersed knowledge, there are blogs that are linked here. People link outside of this all the time. There are links to the websites with information about the games. There are links to eBay and Amazon for how to buy the games and many other online stores. The content that is dispersed is amazing and welcome. And finally, tacit knowledge is encouraged and honored here. Really, many of the members can't explain why they're into games, but they love to discuss it. Now, in this instance, that kind of discussion is much more common on the Facebook page, which is a more social page, but still, there is tacit knowledge and it is welcomed. There are different routes to participation. People may just go there to find a question while they're playing a game, literally, to know how to address a rule or if a rule seems missing, and they can read discussion of what the rules should be. There are forums that that have people who, just like I said, just look and read, and plenty of people who repeatedly comment, and there's content to go along with it. There are even people who download digital fast play guides and frequently asked questions that weren't created by the game creator themselves. The routes to status include commenting, posting. Videos seem to create a great deal of popularity at this site, and so that's always a way to go. And leadership is really, other than the site founder, the forum leaders, there is participation to become important in the status. Now, how is this different from schools? Well, obviously, the teacher is master, the school being organized around individual achievement, the teachers being threatened or not appreciating the knowledge, the teachers having all the leadership and all the resources. I believe that the Writer's Workshop can create an environment where the teacher provides the facilitation but shares much of the responsibility for moving forward with students. Therefore, distributed, tacit, dispersed knowledge, they all become normal in that environment, and all students become leaders and resources. As far as the way the classroom doesn't allow students to make content, the content's there irrespective. Students aren't given time to drill down for things they want to learn more about. Once again, going back to the workshop is probably an answer. The issue of content's thornier overall, but the workshop model does allow for discussion. And this discussion could lead to some flexibility on assignment types outside those set in stone. But equally important, the use of digital tools outside of Access can greatly broaden the way teachers grade and the differentiation of products.